Hi, I wanted to give you a quick tour of the simple client tracker for Google Sheets that I created. So when you first open it up, you're going to see 8 different tabs. I'm going to start with the dashboard and alerts tab. So here you can see the date, any follow-ups that you have due. So this tells me that I have one follow-up due, one incomplete task due, and one unpaid invoice due. And then it'll show you the client type breakdown and the sources. And a bit further down, it'll show you the amount you've invoiced this year. So this year is still 2023. So this is showing the amount, the fictitious amount I've invoiced this year. And this is the amount that's been paid. And this is the balance that's due. And then there's a chart that shows the monthly breakdown of the amount that's been, the payment that's been received and the balance remaining based on the invoice due date. So the dates here can be customized in the setup tab. I will show you that in a minute. Right now it's still in 2023, but you can easily change it to 2024. And then the next chart shows the monthly amount of payments received by the month that the payment was made. So you can look at your data in 2 different ways. The client data filters tab, here we go. This one is cool because you can break down your data by company. So you can look up different companies. Pipeline stage. Here I just have closed one because I don't have that many clients listed in here. Project start date by month and year, and invoice due date. So this right now is just like all the amounts, the full amount in the deal pipeline. But if I wanted to, I could just look at closed won deals or deals for a certain company. And then these filters would apply to these 4 charts here. So the client table is where you'll enter in your client information. And most of it is pretty self-explanatory. The follow-up date is what is going to trigger the follow-up due notification here on the client dashboard. So this is a follow-up date was yesterday, so I'm overdue for a follow-up. But if I followed up with my client, I can either change it or just remove it. So I'm going to say I want to follow up with them in 2 weeks. So now it's no longer highlighted. So the projects and invoices tab is where you can enter in projects and assign them to clients. And so you can have multiple projects for a single client. For example, if you work with them on a recurring basis on different clients, on different projects. So for example, I put in a website redesign project, and this one is closed won, complete, and the deal amount is the deal amount, and it's also, this one I've already sent out the invoice, and so I put in an invoice number, I checked the invoice sent checkbox, and I put an invoice due date. Based on that information, then these 3 columns will update when I make payments in the payments tab. So here I've made a payment for $200 against invoice number 2. And so then that will update with the remaining balance. So for example, if I make another payment, let's say $500, and today is the 4th, and let's say against the same invoice, all this information will update. And now the remaining balance is $4,800. And it's also shown here. So the initial deal amount was $5,500, but I've already paid it 2 installments of it, so the remaining balance is $4,800, but it's shown as red because the due date is today. And so as soon as the due date hits, this will highlight to indicate that this invoice is either due or overdue, and so we need to pay attention to that. So this automates the keeping track of your invoices and making sure that they get paid. So the payments tab is where you enter payments, and then the tasks tab is where you enter in tasks and assign them to projects. So for example, let's say I want to write a social media post and assign it to this project. I will call it a medium priority. It's not started. And then I'm going to put a due date. The due date is important because I have a calendar on the next page, a task calendar, and see, it just boom pops up in the task calendar. This is just for viewing. This task calendar is not meant to be edited directly. but you can see the tasks that you've scheduled. And then you can change months and it'll dynamically update. So January, let's see if we have anything 2024. Yes, we do. We have something due January 10th, 2024. And you can see that the current month is in purple and any days that are not part of the current month are in this light gray. So it's very easy to tell. So to customize the tracker, you can go to the setup tab and change original source values if you want to add some or take some away. Pipeline stage, except the closed one, you don't want to take that away because that's used for calculations. The project status, the task priority, the task status, again, you don't want to remove the done. Company type, and then the years for your task calendar for the drop down. So for this drop down, that's where they are coming from. And then these are the dates for the monthly payment charts on the dashboard tab. So right now I have them set for 2023 and the first month of 2024, but you can just literally remove these and change them so that your calendar show the months of the year for 2024. So I'm going to do that right now. Actually, I'm just going to go in, boom, delete it, and then I'm going to enter in the first 2 months, and then I'll just drag it. If I could type, that would help. Okay. And then, and now you can see when you go back, now it's 2024. So that's how you update those charts. And then these amount invoiced this year and balance due this year, these are based on the current year. So these will update in 2024 for that year. And if you need any tips, there is a README instructions tab with a lot of screenshots showing you kind of all the important tips and especially the required columns that you need to fill in so that this works. And I also have my email address so you can contact me with any questions. I hope that was helpful.